It is Sunday, the 18th of August 2019, and this is Sport On, coming to you live from our world-class studios here in Linden, Johannesburg. This is the show that you should be looking forward to every single weekend because we tell sport like no other place does, and the next hour is not going to be any different. South Africa, my name is Benjamin Leshoro, and thank you so much for joining us. Coming up on the show is going to be very, very exciting, and by now you know that we're keeping with the theme of Women's Month. We're going to be talking to a lady who's doing amazing things when it comes to motor racing and things that you didn't even think could be done by a woman that is just an adrenaline junkie. So we'll be talking to us here in studio. Her name is Claire Vale, so stay tuned for that. A little bit later in the show, we're also going to be joined by representatives from the Reboni Primary School out in Ivory Park who are going to the Danone Girls Finals out in Spain in October. So we're not only keeping it with women, but also girls that are starting out at grassroots level when it comes to football. Thank you so much for being with us here on the show. We'd like to hear from you. Of course, you can chat to us on Twitter. It is hashtag SportOn405, as well as follow us. It is at SportOn405. So we're going to be going through all of that a little bit later, but now we start with news that is making headlines throughout the weekend, and we start with rugby news. The final Springbok squad to head to the World Cup will be announced on the 26th of August. In the Springboks' victory over Argentina in the final rugby championship game, coach Rassie Erasmus tested the depth of his players and combinations. According to the coach, the gamble paid off as it showed depth in his side ahead of the World Cup.
Coach Rassie Erasmus is taking 37 players into his camp before watering down the team to a 31-player squad that will head to the World Cup. Erasmus used the game against Argentina to have a look at returning injured players. One such player that came through the test with flying colours was Springbok skipper Siya Kolisi.
And I guess the next one is now to condition him really in terms of match fitness. We're going to try and simulate that a lot. So no, I think it's good to go for the World Cup and give him some proper game time in the Japanese game. So no, in that terms, that's great.
According to Erasmus, the player combinations that was on show at Loftus was to show the depth of the team ahead of their first World Cup match against New Zealand.
Now, you know, we've got RG and Louet and Franco and Eben, you know, now you've got four proper locks, and now, you know, you can play Pieter Steff at flank. So games like this, taking a chance like that and winning, then you create good depth. And even if you lost the game, so yeah, it's tough choices, but it creates good depth and good competition.
The Boks will have one more game before they take on the All Blacks in their World Cup opener. Coach Rassie Erasmus will have an opportunity to look at players in their friendly match against Japan. That game kicks off on the 6th of September. For Newzroom Africa on Channel 405, I am Pashka Mudlia.
Remember, the Springboks did win the World Cup in 1995 at their first attempt, and again in 2007, and we'll be hoping to win our third title under coach Rassie Erasmus. A little bit later, we're also chatting to Khotso Sello. He is a rugby expert. We spoke to him last week after the Springboks won the rugby championship, and he'll be here to perhaps give us his final squad that coach Rassie Erasmus might be picking or announcing on the 26th of August. Now, the 2020 Olympic organizers may have another thing to worry about after concerns were raised about Odiaba Marine Park having high levels of E. coli bacteria. Tokyo officials on Saturday were forced to cancel the swimming segment of the Para-Triathlon World Cup. Water quality tests found fecal bacteria levels far exceeded accepted limits, forcing them to pull the plug on the swimming events. The change was the latest to highlight problems that could arise during next year's games due to Tokyo's sweltering summer temperatures. Soaring temperatures have killed dozens of people across Japan since late July, highlighting the possible health threat to athletes and fans. Next year's Summer Olympics will be held between the 24th of July to the 9th of August, followed by the Paralympics on August the 25th to the 6th of September. Now, staying with the 2020 Olympics, after a week of Tokyo 2020 test events were dominated by talks of sweltering heat and stifling humidity, it was hockey's turn under the spotlight at the newly built Oi Hockey Stadium. India and Australia, along with host Japan, will compete in a series of matches across 4 days to test the facilities and experience Tokyo's tricky summer climate. Temperatures reached 37 degrees Celsius yesterday, but there were no reports of heat stroke on the opening day. Tokyo Governor Yuriko Koike officially opened the venue earlier in the morning with Her Imperial Highness Princess Takamado in attendance and praised the measures to counter the heat that were put in place. We certainly hope that they get everything right before the games and no casualties will be reported when possibly the biggest sporting event takes place out in Japan. Now, arrested David Goffin advanced to his first ATP Masters 1000 final with a straight sets victory over Frenchman Richard Gasquet in the Cincinnati Masters, beating him 6-3, 6-4. In the other match, Daniil Medvedev stunned world number one and holder Novak Djokovic in the semi-finals. The ninth-seeded Russian stepped up his game after losing the first set and took the victory 3-6, 6-3, 6-3. Medvedev, who also beat Djokovic in April at Monte Carlo, will play Belgian Goffin in the final. The 16th seed beat Frenchman Gasquet 6-3, 6-4 in the other semi-final. Goffin had received a walkover into the semi-finals after Yoshihito Nishioka was forced to withdraw due to food poisoning. And let's have a listen to what they had to say after the match.
It's a great feeling, especially as you say. This time I didn't beat. I beat the number one to be in the final, and I mean that means that I deserve to be in this place. And I played an unbelievable match. I'm just so happy.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy for the first time in a final in a Masters 1000. It's I can't describe. It's so tough to be first in a semi-final and to have another opportunity to go to the final. The last four opportunity, it was tough. I played against Roger, Raonic, Novak and Rafa, so it was tough opponents to go to the final. But this year I had an opportunity to go to the final, and I took it. I was a little bit lucky because Richard played more than 2 hours against Roberto Bautista yesterday, and I had a day off, unfortunately, for Nishioka, who was sick. But at the end, I took the opportunity. It was not easy to deal with my emotions today, but I did it, and I'm really happy.
Now, the continued success of South African KTM rider Brad Binder has highlighted the potential talent of South Africans in the professional bike racing industry. Young upcoming rider Lance Murray of Fast Bike Racing is one of those individuals looking to make headway in the sport. Newzroom Africa sports reporter Pashka Mudlia had a chat with him.
Now we're here at Swartkops and we're talking motorsport, and more specifically motorsport of a two-wheel kind. And I'm here to talk to Lance Murray, a man that is well known within the racing circles. Lance, thank you for taking the time to chat to us. First off, I'm going to start off with, how did you get into the sport?
Well, I actually started, racing has been in my blood. I mean, my father and all of his brothers have all ridden motorcycles before, like since they were young, and I guess it was just in the blood, and I was the first one to start racing. And I got my first two-wheeler when I was 4 years old, like my mom said, and years went on, and I only started racing late 2011. And we inquired about it. We went to one of the biker functions and everything, and then we went to they had a tent with all the historic bikes and you know how it aged and all of that. So we went there, they put up cones, and I started passing people in the cones already, and the one Neil said, okay, no, you need to stand one side. So I was confused, I thought I did something wrong, and he said, no, let's get you a pair of leathers. I had everything else, so let's get you a pair of leathers and we'll put you on the track. And when I got onto the track, it was natural for me. I started passing people on the track for the first time as well.
You know, you hear about racing in South Africa, you hear about some of the challenges, some of the difficulties, and you know, as a young person coming up into the sport, what were some of the difficulties for you to overcome to get where you are right now?
Starting out as a young person, obviously you start growing up, you start getting into your teen years, it's getting into crowds and obviously having the willpower to say no or say, okay, let's do this or let's rather do this. And I feel like it's actually one of my goals is actually to be an inspiration to a lot of younger people to make the right decisions and stay off the streets and do what you want, do what you love, chase your dreams. And it actually did work out in the end. And I mean, other challenges is obviously it is a new sport, it is a dangerous sport, and getting used to that. I don't know how many times I've fallen already, but it's all you have to do is get back up, get back on the horse, and go for it again.
You're a young, talented guy. You know, a lot of good energy about you in terms of what you're doing, and still looking for sponsors. How does that work? That the fact that you're winning races, that you're doing well, and sponsors is an issue.
Honest answer, by the grace of God. Honestly, I don't think I could be doing anything without him. Also, my parents do sacrifice a lot to get me to where I am today. I also put in a lot of hard work. Every time I go out on the track, I show 110% dedication. I've always got a mindset to go out there and win, even if I don't. Even if I know there are bigger challenges out there for me, I always go out with the mindset to win. And 8 out of 10 times it happens. But yeah, there will always be those challenges where your bike does break down, you don't have the money to fix it right away. But throughout all the challenges, you always just got to keep pushing through. And I thank my parents for that. They've stuck with me through everything.
That's probably where I was going to next, because you know, in a sport like this, I would imagine, well, any sports for that matter, when somebody's trying to push into the professional realm, and it's no different with yours, that having the support system is vitally important in order to you know, elevate yourself to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, my parents do back me a lot. I can speak for a lot of people who actually have backing from their parents, and I actually see a lot of guys coming on their own, and I mean, my parents even support them, and that's just the type of people they are. They show a lot of support wherever they go, and I mean, if they wouldn't show me the support, they'd probably not even be here today, not even pay for anything that I've got, you know. And I mean, without them, it would actually be really tough. I mean, without their support, it's not worth doing, to be honest.
Well, thanks a lot for taking the time to chat to us. We do hope that you have every bit of the success.
Thank you so much.
Now, of course, that was Lance Morea giving us a little bit of an insight in terms of what it takes to get onto the two wheels and race at Swartkorps. He's looking to become the next big thing in the sport, and we certainly hope that he can achieve that. For Newzroom Africa on Channel 405, I am Pashka Mudlia at Swartkorps.
All right, we're going to stay with all things racing in just a short while with Claire Vale, who's already in studio. She's going to be chatting to us about her journey. But before we go there and the break, we just want to dip into what is happening at Mill Park at the Bidvest Stadium in an MTN 8 quarterfinal clash between Bidvest Wits as well as SuperSport United. Remember, 3 other sides have already qualified for the semi-finals in Highlands Park, Polokwane City, and this is what is happening. 1-0 to SuperSport right now. They do need that victory to go through. Remember, they went all the way to the final last season and faced Cape Town City, who've already crashed out at the hands of Polokwane City in the first quarterfinal yesterday. So SuperSport United, under the guidance of Kaitano Tembo, are leading at Mill Park after just under an hour in that match.
Mentioned in his post-match interview that he was working on picking up the second balls and sniffing.
All right, we'll keep updating you as to what's happening in that MTN 8 last quarterfinal clash. For now, we take a short break. Claire Vale joins us straight after this. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Sport On. Remember, you can talk to us via social media, Twitter specifically, and it is #SportOn405, and you can ask whatever question you want to ask to the guests that we are going to be having here in studio. Also follow us for daily updates on everything sport at SportOn405. I'm joined in studio now by Claire Vale, who is a racer, a motor racer, and she tells me during the break that television is scarier than motor racing. I'm interested to know how. How in the world is this possible?
I think, Benjamin, this is your territory, your normal day-to-day life, so you're used to this. But for me, this is really scary to be on live TV and, have all these people, this huge audience listening. So it's way scarier, trust me.
Just talk to me. It's between us.
Yeah.
It's between us. Nobody's listening. Anyway, who is Claire and how did this all start? And the reason I'm asking you this is because it started pretty late in your life.
That's true. It's quite unusual for motorsport because a lot of racing drivers start when they're very small, in karts and so on. But I didn't really grow up in a motorsport-oriented family. So although I was crazy about cars and I loved driving and motorsport in general, I never really got a chance to do it myself until I was in my 40s. So that's quite unusual.
Was it something you wanted to do but were scared, or was it resources? What was preventing you from following that path?
It was mainly resources because, if you don't have support when you're young and at school through your parents or whatever, then it's quite a difficult sport to get into. And of course, later on, life gets in the way, you're working, and I guess, especially with women, you don't necessarily look at it as an option. And that's what I'd like to change.
Yeah.
I'd like a lot more women to say, or young girls too, to look at motorsport and say, hey, I can do that.
How many other women do you know who actually are in your field, like that you see, because you do this like on a regular basis?
Yes.
Are there a lot?
It's certainly grown. And, if people think of motorsport as cars and Formula One sort of racing, but in fact, motorsport is vast. We have motorcycles. And you'd be surprised, there are a lot of really talented young women racing on bikes. And that's not only on the track, off-road as well. And we've got more and more young girls coming in and starting in circuit racing on the track, that sort of thing. And of course, now we've even got a young lady called Tasman Pepper who's doing really well overseas in the new W series. So it's quite exciting to see that it is growing, and more young women are looking at it and thinking, well, hey, maybe I can give it a go.
You spoke, during the break, you and I spoke about the dangers of what you do, and certainly I'd like to stay alive. But you tell me that it's safer. It's safer than the normal driving. I get into my car, I go home. I'm more at risk than you that does all the driftings and everything.
Yeah, I really believe it, especially our roads are incredibly hazardous. If you're on a racetrack, firstly, most of you are fairly focused and know what you're doing. You don't have random pedestrians running across the track, or perhaps a taxi stopping on the side of the track to pick up a few spectators. So, I think our roads in particular are way more dangerous. You're far more likely to have a serious accident or even get killed on the road than you are on the racetrack. And of course, all our cars are roadworthy and they're much safer. They have roll cages and you're wearing a helmet, fireproof clothing. So honestly, you're quite safe. If you come out with me, I promise you, you'll come back alive.
I'm okay. But have you yourself been in an accident that was quite serious?
Yeah, I've had quite a few accidents. I think it goes with the territory with racing. Cars are not infallible. I've had a really big crash in the West Bank V8 when a steering arm broke, and we ploughed into the barriers at a really high speed. But again, I got out, I walked away. The car was really badly damaged and I was fine. So, I think it's not something you really think about.
So you came out better than the car. The car was far worse than you.
I was more upset about the car.
Let's talk about that West Bank V8 series that you just touched on. You're a woman of firsts. You did a lot of firsts in that V8 series. Tell us about those.
I was very fortunate to race in the West Bank class when I did in the V8s because they were the fastest saloon cars in South Africa. They were one of the top national championship classes. Very, very popular, they still are. And I was actually perhaps a bit of a groundbreaker by going through there, because really nobody expected a female driver to go into the West Banks at that time. They're really, they're quite hairy-chested cars, if I can put it that way. They're really physical to drive, they're really fast, they're loud, they're noisy, and the racing is quite aggressive, there's a bit of bumping and that sort of thing. So I was very fortunate because it actually raised my profile substantially, and I think that's one of the things that has allowed me to perhaps motivate other women and girls to come forward. It was a fantastic experience racing there. I learned so much, I did well, and there's nothing beats racing a car like that. It's a purpose-built race car. It's not made to do anything else, and it's really, really good at what it does. You do 300 k's an hour in East London. They're really fast. It was a wonderful experience. I miss it.
And just like any other sport that women try to penetrate into, there's detractors. You find people just thinking, what's this one doing? Well, she's got no place here. Did you meet anything like that?
I think up to a point, because when I first started racing there, people were quite skeptical. I think they thought I'd be a moving chicane, and they were really kind of waiting and seeing to see how I did.
Waiting for you to fail.
Exactly, yeah. And, I think usually with women as well, whatever we do, we have to do better in order to prove ourselves. And once I had some respect because they could see I actually could drive and I was effective in the car, then everything changed, and I had a lot of support. I made a lot of friends with the drivers, and it was, I think that's really the thing. You have to prove yourself, and as a woman, you have to prove yourself even more.
You have to do
driver.
You have to do double for half the chance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and then you moved to drifting.
Yes.
You took it a step further and said, I'm gonna go even more dangerous than I was doing. How's that? I mean, there's Mustangs involved and everything, and you drive quite powerful cars. I mean, if I just step on the accelerator, it goes. Okay, example of cars that you're used to driving, like what's the acceleration like in terms of kilometers or meters and seconds?
It's quite difficult to say because I haven't really, my cars are not drag racing cars where everything's about getting from A to B in the shortest time and you measure it. But just for example, say with the West Bank V8s, they can do 160 in first gear. So although, they're not
160 in first gear?
Yeah. So that gives you some idea of the kind of power and acceleration you get in those cars. But it's not like a drag car where it's off the line. But, cars like that have a rolling start, but you pick up speed extremely fast. Drifting, again, is also a little bit different because the speeds perhaps are a little bit lower, although, some of the tracks that one goes to, your entry speed is 150, thereabouts. It depends on the track.
Yeah.
But there, of course, it's a lot more about torque and having instant acceleration and being able to modulate it in that way. So every car is built for a different purpose.
And this is what happens. The concentration has to be 100%.
It does.
And a lot of us, Claire, that are fans of Fast and Furious series, Fast Tokyo Drift or whatever, have always wanted to be drifting, and you look at it there, you're like, how come my car doesn't do this? How come when I turn around the corner, I don't go like, you get to do that, and it's completely allowed. So I can actually come just to drift.
Yeah, of course.
What does it cost for me? Like, how do I get to a stage where I can say, okay, every weekend I'm going there just to be drifting?
Well, you wouldn't want to do it in your road car. It'd be really
of course.
Ideal,
I just want the thrill of drifting.
Well, in fact, really the place to start is spinning, because spinning is very similar to drifting. If you've been in a spinning car, if you've been to watch spinning, everything you do in spinning is actually what you take through when you move to drifting. It's just really more power, faster, and usually on a track instead of in an arena. But all the skills are the same. So if you go every weekend out to one of the spinning events and watch there, or get a spin car, get a gusheshe, and start spinning.
I think they need people like you in the police force, you know, where you have to chase down criminals. I don't know if it does actually happen like in the movies where there's a chase scene somewhere, a real chase scene. But thank you so much for your time, Claire. We thoroughly enjoyed chatting to you here this afternoon. And I don't know, I'll chat to you on the side and see if I can come for classes and everything like that.
I'd love that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
That's Claire
Benjamin.
Vale. She is a racing driver. She's a drifter. She is everything that you wouldn't think on a normal day that someone does. I guess it takes real adrenaline to be doing all of that. We take a short break. When we come back, we hear from Keegan Dolly out in France at Montpellier. Remember, he's been struggling with injuries and he's come right, according to the man himself. We'll hear from him shortly after this. Stay with us. It's Sport On 405. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Sport On 405. Remember, we would like to hear from you. We take anything, questions or comments with regards to our show. And you can do that by going to Twitter, hashtag SportOn405, and follow us at SportOn405. Now, Keegan Dolly missed this year's AFCON due to a groin injury. And that's something that has been bothering him for a while now. He seemingly has recovered from that and is back at training with his French side, Montpellier. Let's hear what he has to say.
How's it going, Keegan?
Much better. Obviously happy that I'm back to full fitness. No small injuries, no pain, you know, so I'm happy that I'm back with the team. I feel like I had a good pre-season, and I feel like I'm prepared for the season coming up.
And you look quite in a good mood on the training pitch.
Yeah. I think it's been a while since I felt this good. I mean, physical-wise, I feel much lighter. I feel much quicker. I think throughout last season, I had many problems, little injuries that was affecting me. So I always felt a bit too slow, a bit too heavy. And I think with all the rest that I got off season, and you know, coming back to pre-season fully healed, really helped me a lot. And like I said, I had a good pre-season. I feel good about myself, and yeah, I'm in the mood to play.
You think you sent a reminder to the coach and the fans of what you can do with the few minutes you placed against Rennes?
Yeah, I think I did quite well. Although I would have loved the team to get the 3 points, but I believe that we played well as a team. We got a few chances that we didn't take. And that's how the game goes, you know. If you don't score your goals, it's a bit difficult to win. But I think it was a good first game for us. We can take a lot from it. And for me personally, I'm just happy that I could come back after so long. You know, I haven't played in front of our supporters, and I had a feeling that they kind of forgot about me. But I think the few minutes that I got kind of reminded them that I'm still here and what I'm capable of. And hopefully throughout the season I can continue doing that, and you know, just grow and become a better player.
What a shame, that strike on the post, you thought that was going in at the moment?
Yeah, I didn't really see it because there was a defender in front of me, so I kept on trying to look, but I saw the replay, and after the match the goalkeeper spoke to me. He told me that he touched the ball, so I think if he didn't touch it, it would have gone in.
So you said you're quite in good shape. You looked in a very good shape against Rennes, and with a lot of commitment.
Yeah, you know, the confidence is getting back. I feel, like I said, I feel like my normal self again. Through the past, I think, 12 months, it was a bit difficult for me, you know. I wasn't myself as a player, as a person. I was struggling, and I think, like I said, with the rest and the treatment that I got from our physios here at the team and my physio back at home, I feel good. I feel energetic. I feel like I have confidence, and like I said, I'm ready for the season, and hopefully I can continue doing so, and you know, just giving my all to the team, because I feel like I I owe it to them because last season I didn't play as much, and I just think that this season I need to work hard for the team and stay in good shape so I can help the team.
So we had a glimpse of your skills, but as you said, some injuries did not let you show us more so far. Is the physical part of our football in France the most difficult to cope with?
I don't think it's difficult to cope with. You know, I just feel like with me and traveling back to South Africa for the selection and coming here, it was always a problem, you know, because the long flights going to the national team and coming back here. But I feel like with no big tournaments with the selection now, I'll focus more on Montpellier, you know. And I feel like I was prepared for this, you know. I just felt like it wasn't my season last season. There was a small problem that I don't know what happened after the first big injury against Strasbourg. After that, I just got little injuries after one another. So I think I can cope quite well this season.
So what makes you hanging on to your dream to succeed in Europe?
I think, like I said, through I've been here 2 years in Montpellier. I haven't been playing as much as I want, and I feel like this is my season to do well for the team. You know, to show them that I appreciate what they've done for me. You know, giving me the opportunity, and I feel like the supporters deserves it as well. You know, they haven't really seen me play, and I feel like I have a lot to prove. And also for me, it's to encourage other youngsters from South Africa, to show them that it's possible to play in Europe, you know. And for me, it's what I always wanted to do, play in Europe, and I'll never stop working hard to achieve that.
It's important to have friends in the team. It's no secret you look close to Bobo.
Yeah.
Ambroise.
Yeah, Bobo is one of my close friends in the team. He's a crazy guy, and I think also the fact that he played in America. He speaks English very well, so that's one of the main reasons why we click together. And also he's from Africa, you know, so we can relate on many things. So yeah, he's my homie. But I have many friends, you know, that like I said, I've been here 2 years now, and I've made a lot of friends in the team, and I'm just feeling at home now.
So what, after 2 years, what do you think about French football, French life, and all the things you discovered coming in Montpellier?
No, Montpellier is a beautiful city. We have a great team here. You know, we have great supporters. The city itself, it's wonderful. It's not much different to South Africa in terms of weather, you know. And yeah, I think I got quite used to the language now. I can get around. I can understand what people are trying to talk to me about. And yeah, I'm just enjoying the football. I don't think it's much different to South Africa, just a bit. The intensity is high, you know, and like I said, I've gotten used to that. But overall, so far so good. I love being in France. I love being in Montpellier, and I'm enjoying my stay.
So do you think it's up for grabs now with injuries of other players, and that now you're in a good shape?
Look, it's not good to have an injury, and I feel sorry for the other players that's going through it, because I've been there throughout last season, you know. But I mean, if the opportunity comes to me, I'll take it with both hands. I'm working hard at training. Like I said, I feel good, and if the coach gives me an opportunity, I'll do my best to deliver and make everyone proud.
And score other goals like
Yes.
in Nantes, huh?
Yeah, I think this season I need to try and score a few more goals, and also try to, you know, get more assists, because in the position I play, I need to start going forward and you know, create more chances for the team.
T'as laissé, non? Une paire de chaussures.
No, I have some good new season, new stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Good to have Keegan Dolly back at full fitness, and we wish him all the best out in the French League. Now we have precious little time to speak rugby with our rugby expert here at Newzroom Africa, and it's my pleasure to welcome Khotso Sello back onto the show. Khotso, when I look at the starting lineup against Argentina at Loftus yesterday, To me, it didn't look like the team that will start against New Zealand. They've got the job done nonetheless. There were complaints about there's no flair, flamboyance, and all of that. But credit to the coach for giving everybody a chance that when he names his starting, his squad on the 26th, he knows what everybody can do.
Yeah, no, it's an open secret that yesterday's team was basically Rassie Erasmus's second string side.
Yeah.
But he was also giving other guys who didn't get a look in during the Rugby Championship a crack to say, you know, if the coach perhaps might have missed something, you know, coach, I'm out here. I will be able to represent us at the World Cup. I think a guy like Sibunkosi put his hand up. You know, it's a heavily contested position, the wing position, where Sibunkosi just made sure that he books his ticket to the World Cup by putting in a man of the match performance. I think at scrum half, Kobus Reinach also went well, but I think he didn't gel quite as well with Elton Yankees. You could tell that there's no rhythm. They've never played together as a combination. You could see that at times when Elton received the ball from Reinach, he used to be a little bit, you know, undecided whether to kick, whether to play it out wide. So little things like that, I think, affected Yankees' game. But besides that, I think an all-round performance, a B team beating a pretty solid Argentinian team and putting them to bed. I think Rassie Erasmus is quite happy with what he saw. I think he's sitting in the pound seats now with the amount of depth that he's got, you know, in the squad, and it's just a matter of wielding that axe and saying, "You're not going." And
the dreaded axe.
The dreaded axe.
What do you think of that combination of Elton and Kobus? The scrum half and the fly half.
I think the top two scrum halves have chosen themselves. I think Faf de Klerk is the #1 choice, and I think Herschel Yankees, you know, the newbie. And he was protected a little bit in this match because
so he'll deputize.
He'll definitely deputize. I think Kobus Reinach will be a safety net in case any of the two top scrum halves are out injured. I think Yankees. The two Yankees gel well together. I think that's the combination we'll see in the second match. Rassie Erasmus has made it clear that the fact that he will alternate his squads in order to keep his best 15 as fresh as possible come knockout rugby time. So I think you'll see guys like Elton Yankees and Herschel Yankees getting a run out in, you know, in the lesser intense games like the Italy game or the Namibia game. But the top-notch matches, which is the New Zealand match, I think you'll get a Andre Pollard at 10, who had a man of the match performance the week before, pairing up with Faf de Klerk, and I think that will be the starting 9-10 combination.
What everybody wants to know: who's going to be our captain at the World Cup? Siya Kolisi came back from injury. And Rassie mentioned that he tried to protect him, not play him the full match. Was initially going to give him about 20 minutes, but he gave him more. We know that Skalk Brits was the stand-in captain yesterday. What happens going forward? We've had several captains being tried out by Rassie Erasmus.
I think, it's done and dusted. Siya Kolisi will be the Springbok captain at the Rugby World Cup, barring injury. I think Rassie Erasmus has also been smart enough to hand a few guys the captaincy in Siya Kolisi's absence. Because if you put all your eggs in one basket, what happens if Siya breaks down? Then everything falls apart. And Siya has constantly been part of the setup. Even during his injury, during his rehab phase, he was a water boy for the team, sending the messages out from the coach's box, with Rassie whispering things in his ear and him putting out the messages onto the field. So it's a foregone conclusion that Siya Kolisi will definitely be skipper. I think he's got a nice, mature group of leaders within the team. So I think, we shouldn't be worried.
Okay, I'm going to give you a homework, Khotso Sello. Please put together your final squad that will be on the plane to Japan, and we'll put it on our social media page.
31-man squad.
The squad that the coach will be going with to Japan.
Okay.
wield the axe yourself. So we'll put it on at Sport On 405, and that's where you'll find Kgotsoselo squad, the Springbok squad, going to the World Cup. We take another short break. When we come back, we talk the Danone Nations Cup. Well, our girls here in South Africa from Ivory Park will be going to Spain to the Global Girls Finals. Stay with us. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Sport On 405. It is hashtag Sport On 405 on Twitter, and follow us, please. And you'll get updates throughout the week of what is happening in the world of sport. It is at Sport On 405. It is my pleasure now to welcome Aus Lillian Mabasa, who is from Reboni Primary School in Ivory Park. Thank you so much for your time. Welcome. Okay, Aus Lillian, who are you and what do you do at Reboni Primary School?
Enkom, loyi a vulavula ku la i Lillian Mabasa. Lillian Mabasa originally u huma ka Mbokota, a Limpopo province. Ni n'wana wa Mr and Miss Mabasa ka Miyela ka Mbokota.
Okay.
So ni ta ni ta kuma ntirho wa teaching a Ivory Park.
Yeah.
Sweswi ni teachara a Ivory Park, hence I'm the manager of the team ya vana va vanhwanyana.
Yeah.
Lava va nga qualify va kuma va tlanga Danone Nations Cup, then va qualify ku ya Spain.
So, out of dikolo tse kaofela in SA, you guys are going to Spain to the finals.
Hey, represent
How did this happen?
Hey, I couldn't go and it was more challenging. Mara, lexi salaku I kwa ku heteleleni ni swi kotile. Swi humelele hi ku loko va hi ri laha xikolweni ku dyondziseni. Ni fambe ni sport vana va vanhwanyana lava swi vonaku ku ri va nga swi kota ku tlanga bolo. Hence an accommodate un'wana na un'wanyana. Mara later ni vuye ni kota ku hlawula ka lava kota ku tlanga kwalaya. Hi tlangile, a hi tlanga na ti nearest school kwala Ivory Park, hi tlanga na swikolo swa vo Alexander whatever. A ku heteleleni hi tikuma hi ka yi representa district. Ka district hi ya tlanga hi wina, hi ya regional hi tlanga hi wina. National.
So regional is provincial, like is it all the schools in Gauteng come together?
Yes.
And you guys put them on the side?
Yeah. Ithe yatlanga a Reiger. Itlanga it 15th July. Ivi wina a itlanga national. Ka national a ku tlanga na matiko ya na le Limpopo na va le Limpopo va tele na KZN a itele a itlanga hinkwenu. Mara Reboni Primary School hi yona yi nga teka.
So everyone was just falling by the wayside.
You were hit. Yeah, you come and see us. As the name says, Reboni.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have been seen. Definitely you've been seen if you are here. So now you're going to Spain.
Yes.
To the global finals.
Yes.
These girls that you coach, I'm guessing none of them have been overseas or anything like. Have they actually had a trip like this before?
That's why kutsaka kona. Hey. Ana got in control. But some of them, ma'am, if I'm married, ma'am. Day before yesterday,
they can't wait.
Day before yesterday, I practice. Look, you take scene, Jerry. It's August.
Yeah.
I wish I could 15th of September. I wish I could this day. They can't contain themselves.
They can't wait. Linda, I would just be waiting to Famba Moyen.
Me a Famba Moyen.
So, but there's obviously challenges that you have faced with little girls under 12, and where now you have to be like a mother to all these girls. What are some of those challenges? Yeah.
So ni twa ni ri proud ku va ni karhi ni rhangela vana lavatsongo. Ni practice vimhani bya mina laya hayi ku ni byi endla amutini wa mina ntsena. Ni byi endla ni le xikolweni. Ku vulavula ntisi is not simple. Vana lavaya vana more challenges. Sometimes mi kuma ku ri vana ma yi vona ndhawu leyi hi tshamaka yona i Ivory Park. I ndhawu yin'wana I can say it's a poor area.
Yeah.
N'wana a ta na mpundzu a nga dyangi a karhi a twa ndlala.
And where now you have to see how they you can get food for them.
Perform at grounded because normally we take an ampundi 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Via practice. One practice on an empty stomach. Ni fani nindla plan. And what is that plan? Plan ya kona kuwa nibula na SGB na principal. Iwa kumela something to eat in the morning. Ni wana nriku play ka role kwa lana. Iwi still nakuba hiwa teka itama na wona. Because ma wana bana bana more especially kuba fika ka 12.
Yeah.
Va hyperactive.
Yes.
Ningasubula so. Mara swa va pfuna hi mhaka yini ava ha kumi nkarhi lowo va tsutsuma va ya le ava container nampundzu hi tshama na vona sometimes na after school ni va ni ri na vona lero loko za ya fika kaya u va karhele xa yena i ku dya a hlamba a tlela and then va ni n'wi protectile from all these things that is happening.
But you speak of the SGB maybe coming through with the funds. Does the community of Ivory Park and the school, Ribonwe itself, do they understand the magnitude? Do they understand what is happening here, that these girls, Bana Babona, will be representing, I get that they'll be representing South Africa as a whole, but more personally, they'll be representing that community itself. Does it get into their heads?
Va swi twisisa ku hi nda mpimo mo ni mi byela ntiyiso ene vatswari va Ivory Park va more supportive. The last day loko hi tlanga a Reich ti 15th of July, it was so amazing. Loko ni mi byela kwa ku humena quantum ya vatswari a ni vulavuli hi vana ya vatswari lero anything leswi swi humelela a ku ri na that parental excitement ma vona va swi twisisa ngopfu ene nkarhi hinkwawo vatswari lava va ni tsakisela ku va tiva hinkwaswo leswi hi nge le ku swi endleni na vana va vona. Once n'wana nga ri kona va ta fona meme i ku n'wana i na wena ma swi twisisa se.
So you have that relationship with the parents.
Na relationship and se ni tiva na miti leyi vana lava va tshama kona tiva na vatswari va vona ni tiva na swin'wana hi vona.
Okay, now these kids, not too long from now, they'll be leaving primary school, they'll be going to high school. What would you like to see from them going forward?
Loko ko va a swi nge endleki ku ni va boha ku va nga yi high school va fanele va kula na vona va va na future vona kambe lexi ni nga ta xi tsakela i ku na le va ya kona a va yi va yisa mahlweni this skill lexi va nga na xona. Who knows, maybe ku ta va vona vanyana va mundzuku lava hi nga na proud hi vona karhi hi vona ka TV and swi ta ni tsakisa ngopfu sweswo. I will know those are my fruits.
No, I was still you're awesome. But let me tell you, South Africa is watching right now. Everyone is proud of what the girls, especially from the community, is proud. I want you to look into your camera there, camera one. Look into it and tell the community what you want to tell them. And you never know who's listening, who might assist you with whatever you want assistance with. So please, go ahead.
Okay, vatswari vele Ivory Park a ri vone primary school. Vana va n'wina ma swi tiva ku ri va ta va ka va ya Spain. Ni kombela support leyi mi nge le ku hi nyikaka yona yi ya mahlweni. Ni kombela loko ku ri na swin'wanyana leswi mi vona ku nga ku mi nga hi pfuna hi swona, anything a ku vi out of your will mi hi pfuna hi swona a hi na problem. Kambe tivani leswaku vana va n'wina they are in good hands. Ni kona na ti-coaches ta mina hi kona hi busy ngopfu hi vana lava mi nga chavi nchumu loko hi fambe na vona nkarhi wun'wana ha va teka na madambu like last week a hi va teka hi famba na vona a practice ya na madambu na mundzuku hi ta va hi ri na vona na Wednesday na Thursday va nga chavi nchumu vana va vona they are in safe hands as long va suka va ku va ri vone primary school loko va ze va ku soka contactani Mabasa Lillian u ta mi byela hinkwaswo.
Mabasa Lillian, Women's Month, and that's how we close off the show for this week. Thank you so much, Aus Lillian. Fantastic work you're doing, and we really do hope that those kids from your hands will become the future Banyana stars. Thank you so much for the work you're doing at grassroots level.
Happy Women's Month ka va mani hinkwavo.
Happy Women's Month. And that's it. Wait. Okay, you'll get used to it. You're gonna be a star with all your kids. You're gonna get used to all the cameras. Thank you so much to Aus Lillian Mabasa from Ribonwe Primary School out in Ivory Park for the work she's doing. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much to Khotso Sello as well as Claire Vale who came through to the show. Continue following us. It is Sport on 405. on Twitter. My name is Benjamin Leshoro. Ndwana Mozolo, Busisiwe Gumede is standing by. Goodbye.